My friends, welcome! A happy new year to you all. A happy 2026. Though I've been saying to a lot of my buds that I wish everyone really a boring 2026. It's like, we don't need anything world-shattering. We don't need anything making lives drastically distant. We've had that far too much. Now it's time for a little bit of easy going, eh? Please? Pretty please? Anybody? No? Okay. Well, hello to all of you. I'm glad to be here with y'all and celebrating the start of a brand new circle around the sun. And I want to say some specific hellos, like to Seth Carlo, who notes that it is both the year of the horse, which is good for ponies and bronies in general, but also laments the loss of Adam Wu, who was a YouTuber. I'm not sure I've seen Adam Wu's stuff, so I'll have to check that out. Celestia Fan Forever is here, as is Adam Leisman, Mary Drake, Michael Bullington III, although Bullen MD. Oh dear, I might be getting that wrong. Luna Brony, and Swordbreaker 12, Enderpup, The Blue Griffin, Tornado 423, Cosmony Instborough, Mudbud Trinary, good to see ya, Paw Patrol Fan 95, Pokemon Fire Eevee, the MPC, most plausible challenge, Christian Parrish, and, whoop, hello, sorry, got a random update reminder, Nathan Duazo, good to have you here, and a happy new year to you, Sha DHP. I'm not sure in leak speak what that means. And hello, Cherry Fluff Belly Official and Enderpup. Good to have you here. What will today's live stream be about? Oh, that's a good question. Oh, well, in a way it is a new video, Seth Moss. Let's not dilly-dally. But we're starting with a little bit of housework on 2025. For here we are with my presentation on A Bird in the Hoof, recorded at Ciderfest. And once again, Keynote didn't want to work with me. It wouldn't let me record the presentation through OBS, so I have to match the slides to the topic. But I think this will be the last time. Oh, okay. The MPC is for Mr. PC. Alrighty, that's good to know. Thank you for clarifying. So, yes, Blue Griffin, the Philomena episode. It's the episode that made me realize we got it all wrong. Celestia isn't the biggest troll in Equestria. Philomena is downright psycho, man. Downright sociopathic. It's wrong, I tell you. But anywho, we'll deal with that shortly and forthwith. But I learned that Keynote has an option where you can record its own slideshow. And I'm curious how much that will tax my computer to both play a slideshow, record the slideshow, and who knows what else. It's all kinds of madness, I tell you. On the plus side, or perhaps not, it might rule out OBS, the necessity for OBS altogether. No, Blue Griffin, Philomena did not ever show up again, which is unfortunate. It's right up there with Luna's pet Tibbles not getting his time in the spotlight. So sad. Makes me so sad. Anyway, first things first, I got to make sure we're actually getting audio on this here shindig. Which means I need to unmute my computer. And I'm just making sure that, well, if folks are seeing this and talking right and proper, then it means I'm streaming successfully. And no, Enderpup, please do not burn me down for the video. I will not rise from the ashes. I'll just get really, really pissy about it. And you wouldn't like me. when I'm pissy. Anywho, where were we?
For a very important date.
Yep. Okay, that's the working. So, that's a unique frame to freeze on, too. Looks like Angels really is going for the full headbutt. Yep. He was going for the full headbutt. It wasn't even accidental. Impressive. Oh, well. So, how will I know when it's time for an actual clip? Because that clip, these little full screen frames over here, which, by the way, can I center that? Thank you. Is a little representation frame that I put in there. So if you see a little background, that's the sign that it's just a frame in the presentation. If not, well, then I need to put in the clip. That way I can at least pace things out a little bit better. Fitter Chrissy! Oh, so good to see you. Oh, I'm glad you're here. And thank you again for the wonderful New Year's wishes. And for you, Trinary. Chris is going to have an exciting year. I already know. They're spearheading the start of a new convention, which will be quite excellent. And Chris, I'm doing well. I've had a wonderful Christmas celebration and New Year's celebrations. Although I'll let you all in on a little bit of etiquette. At a Christmas party last Friday, one of my friend's friends brought his daughter with us, and she was just getting over a cold. So my first introduction to her is that I hear her coughing in the downstairs entertainment area. She comes around the corner, and with her mouth uncovered, she just goes, "Aha!" And I'm like, well, this is off to a stellar start. Now, I kept most of my distance that night, although I think I I became part of the cool club, rather, when we played a very intense game of tea. Apparently, to win a kid over in that, you just, if they tell you to stir slow, you'll go, okay, I'll stir slow. And, well, that won her over, but then I find out at New Year's, my compadres who hosted the party were sick with the cold. So I kept my distance from the child until the tea party, and then, well, apparently that was the right policy because my friends caught her cold. So the moral of the story is hide from children. No, the actual moral from the story is cover your mouth. It's not only good matters, it's a health consideration. Might need to do some work here. Also, I might have things out of order. Yeah, that looks like this should go up front. Don't know what's going on there. Maybe I did a little rearrangement. But I rarely do back-to-back clips. Here we go. Anyway. But I had a wonderful New Year's. I joined the friends who could make it, and we mostly just watched funny movies. First off, I got to see The Naked Gun, the new reboot. No, it's not a reboot. It's a continuation, just in a surprising way. But I'll tell you, Liam Neeson was a great choice. He really does affect the super serious versus the super serious in a silly situation, and it works. He pulls it off marvelously. Now, hold on a hot minute. We're already losing track, aren't we? Okay. Celestia's thanking everybody. Everything's good. Twilight's freaking out. Already I've lost my way.
Sugar cube corn. Sorry, I'm missing it.
Okay, there's where I think I took that clip out because it really didn't add a whole lot. But now I've got to just readjust. So true of life. So true, so true. And so we watched The Naked Gun, which was a lot of fun, and that rhymes. Then what did we do? Well, we all did an exchange of sort of videos that we enjoy. Now, okay, right? All right, so we need to get Fluttershy over in here. Ah, man, I'm really losing it. You know what? Maybe I'm doing this the wrong way. Let's, rather than try and lay out what I think is supposed to be there, let's just get the audio from the presentation. Ugh. So once again, media pending. Why are you pending? Thank you. You got a 1/6 scale Chrome Clone Trooper Ender Pup. Egads. Now, if they're Chrome, doesn't that mean that they have the same protective armor as like Captain Phasma? That it might actually reflect laser bolts? That'd be nice. So this was obviously meant for a larger recording size. Oh, well, I've got to crop it no matter what. Since it didn't get me what I need, I'm just going to crop this sucker and see where I can go from there. And to the right. Whoop. Down from the top. Why don't we just leave out the excess, eh? And I'll just sit right there. We are prepared. We are prepared, but we need better audio. Modify audio channels. You do? Nothing? I'm not hearing anything. What is not happening?
There you go, Mr. Mousy.
Ah. He recorded all the audio on one track and all the... Unlink. We'll fix this up. Toot sweet. Oh, Sheriff Lapelli's got a joke for us. How did the hipster burn his tongue? He drank his coffee before it was cool. Wrong button. No, I haven't tried Hare Krishna to find my way, Trinary. I've never quite been clear on that. And now, I have to ask, who here has heard of the Chaotically Good Barbarian? It's okay if you haven't. I hadn't heard of it myself. But friends showed us the entire first season, which is on YouTube, and it is hilarious. Violent and disturbing, but hilarious. Oh, Yes, you avoided the drama for which I... Well, don't worry. We supplied plenty of other drama for you. Yep, this person was talking about when they joined the fandom after Twilight became an alicorn. But no, if there's one thing the Brony fandom will never lack, it's drama. Drama. Uh-oh. Crizzy, you pulled a muscle from the top of your neck to your hip. Well, I appreciate that it was a real pain, pun intended, but I don't want to hear that you've been in pain. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anime Fan 9000, good to have you here, and it's good to see you, Goja Lion 91. Now, as fun as it was to... Oh.
There you...
Oh, it's all on the same channel. Well, that makes my life easier. Ah, yes, I'm also forgetting. Audio track mixer. I want to include a hard limiter. None shall go beyond... Nope. This is always a little fickle. None shall go beyond minus 0.10. Celestia can rebuild you, make you stronger. Call on a raised hand. We are prepared. Yes, this one episode. Hello, everyone. All right, so we'll just start it off at hello, everyone. It's good to see you all. It's good to have you here. I'm very grateful for you coming to my channel, my live channel. In fact, you can't get much more live than this. You have to be in my head otherwise. And trust me, you don't want to go there. That's right. None of you want to be inside my head. It's a very bizarre place. It's quite unpleasant. Yes, quite. All right. Am I decided that more Friendship is Magic comics are coming out? Renamon 565, who now has an extra 8 in there. How curious. I'm Etienne Lumity. I don't know if we can have a contest to who has the more messed up mind. Oh, and Inquisitor 751, who also has an extra 6. This is still weirding me out. 40K drama is on a whole different level. Probably because you guys argue about who can genocide the hardest. Anywho. But where was I in all my ramblings? The question was I excited about My Little Pony comics? I'm curious, cautiously optimistic. From what I've been able to garner, Katie Cook and Andy Price will be part of this new creative effort, which I would love. They're my dream team within the comic realm. I hope that the new studio, Boom Comics, I think, I hope they're smart enough to request Andy Price's assistance. Or no, Tony Fleece as well.
Mousy. There you go, Mr. Mousy.
Now remember this, a little bit of echo, echo, echo.
There you go, Mr. There you go, Mr. Mousy.
I think that'll hold. Unlink. Oh, did it again. One wrong button and you lose your whole timeline. I don't know who came up with that button, but that person is evil. So, new comics, new opportunities. I remain cautiously optimistic. Because that's just how I roll. What the? Used to be. Used to be that you could just, I don't know, tell it where to paste the files, but now you gotta lock everything down. We're in lockdown. Into the panic room, I tell you.
Back live.
It's good to see you all back here. I'm ready for you to come to my channel. My channel. If I can't for live in this, you have to be in my head otherwise. And trust me, you don't want to go there. Oh, it's a part of puns. Welcome to
In the hoof.
and that is a Fluttershy episode, so naturally I love it. But I will say it causes a bit of contention between me and my friends. Indeed, we shall.
So
Start off with the idyllic Fluttershy home, which has got to be one of the weirdest carpentry jobs for Ponyville's construction firm. I mean, look at how many windows that she has.
Yep. Look at how many windows.
which is
Got to be one of the windows for Ponyville's construction firm. I mean, look at how many windows that she has, coupled with all the extra space and somehow growing grass on her roof. I could see that. That would make a lot of sense, but then the interior is still pretty awesome as well. So
she's got both form and
function.
And of course, there's folks like to chime in, which in some ways is really good. It's nice to have people. It's nice to know that people are engaged, they're supportive, and having a good time. But I'm also like, oh man, are they gonna comment on every clip and every statement I make? That's when I have to put my hoof down. When I have to let people know, hey, we need to dial it back. You're at a 10. I need you at a 5. 5.67. At 6.7. See, now that I'm doing it, it can't be cool. I'm too old for this. Let's just change the... And we'll turn this on. Boop.
That's right. Get the feels out now. Get the feels out now because things are about to get messy. But Fluttershy is, of course, feel very confident.
months.
And if you don't pay up, I'll send the rats after you. We have her assistant, and this is season 1 Angel. Remember, season 1 Angel. This is where he's actually a helper. This is where he's not a sociopath. Oh, for those were innocent days. He certainly became more selfish. So, but he's channeling his cousin at this moment.
The Ticketmaster, yes, I have covered the Ticketmaster before, but I need to get it all edited together. Venpai, you have information from behind the scenes. A Bird in the Hoof was meant to be her dealing with the death of an animal friend, which is pretty heavy in and of itself. But the staff felt they weren't ready to tackle death just yet. How funny then, well, interesting, I should say, that we got... How interesting that we got Tanks for the Memories, which I think they covered the concept of the grieving process quite well. Not only that, but what was the special where the Student 6 created the clubhouse of friendship? Come on. Get a move on. Right on up, rawhide. So they've covered the concept of death and grieving, I think, pretty well.
No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late.
Yes, he is. All right, we'll just leave that there where it is. Inquisitor points out that it's not the argument over which faction in Warhammer is the most genocidal. I get the suspicion that they all are. No, it's that Games Workshop has really gone on the offensive against the community. I know that with their desire to control the intellectual property, they shut down If the Emperor Has a Text-to-Speech Device, which was quite the foolish endeavor, in my opinion. Now, they've also been retconning indecisions, which I'll get to at least one of those in a minute. But Enderpup, that's why Space King is superior. Well, funny enough, I introduced my buds to Space King, but I was right after the Chaotically Good Barbarian, so I didn't have the same oomph going forward. I think Space King is hilarious. Shocking, but hilarious.
That's right, get the feels out now. Get the feels out now because things are about to get messy. But, well, Fluttershy is, of course, feeling very proud of her great accomplishments and always finding satisfaction in healing animals. But this has diverted her attention. Unfortunately, she has an assistant. So.
Alrighty. We get rid of that. We drag that over.
So, just remember, I'm sending you the bill in 3 months.
And if you don't pay up, I'll send the rats after you. But
Praise be to Space King. But, okay, I was going to say, I would talk about one of the retcons. And folks who aren't Warhammer fans, I shall do my best to provide context. One of the features of the Space Marines... Okay, let me build things up. You got civilians. Civilians ain't worth much in a fight. Then there's local military forces or militias. They're good cannon fodder. They hold the line in 90% of the galaxy, maybe even 99%. But when things get really bad, you send for the Astartes, the Space Marines. And those guys are something else. I mean, one Space Marine is probably worth an entire, what would you say, battalion of regular humans? They're described as demigods. And they're not even the top dogs, because above them are the Adeptus Custodes. They're the bodyguards of the head honcho, the Emperor of mankind. And even above them are the Emperor's sons, the Primarchs. And above them is the Emperor, at least on the non-chaotic side of things. But recently, Games Workshop revealed that some of the Custodes are female. And I know that caused a lot of debate within the Warhammer fan base. I mean, after decades of really a male power fantasy, or at least saying, yeah, it's guys. It's guys all the way down. There's a Adeptus Sororitas, a battle group of women, but that's about it. Tarnay is also correct. The Emperor is now corpseified. He sits atop the Golden Throne, mostly dead. Only mostly dead. But we still have the problem of what do you do now that you've introduced them? And but here's my thing. I always thought it kind of odd. The justification is that the Emperor could only find a way to genetically augment the male chromosomes, DNA. Modification on a female army just wasn't in the cards. I always thought that kind of silly, because the Emperor is supposed to be the smartest dang guy in the entirety of mankind. He's immortal in the truest sense of the word. He has been around since we were just at the foundings of civilization. So I always thought it kind of silly that he was like, I can't figure out how to make this work for ladies. And it's like, well, most of the guys have that problem. But so I don't mind the whole introduction of women as bodyguards to the Emperor. It makes sense to me. And truth be told, I saw one of the animations from Warhammer where a female Custodes is issuing orders to, oh man, I forget the chapter, but basically they're saying we're going to break this world, sterilize it to create a buffer of dead worlds against the Tyranids. And she was cold and unempathetic and carrying just, I am the Emperor's word, you do as I say, which is exactly what a male Custodes would have done too. So honestly, I don't see a big difference. Now, Enderpup knows Space King is much more overt in its view. No girls allowed. And his eyes even cross, like, actually go sideways, like he's crazy. Fluttershy does look adorable like that. All right, let's parse this out, shall we? Oh, hello, Chuck the Emperor. Yes, we were just talking about Warhammer, so your timing is good. As for which legion, well, all of them, because as far as I know, while they had introduced a highly disliked Primaris Space Marines, they're a little bit more close to their Primarch fathers. They're supposed to be bigger and better, but everyone just resents them.
He did. Realizing he was so late, he decided that to get her attention required a very weird out-of-context screenshot.
Yeah. Context got nothing on this one. Oh, yes, I forgot. There are female Inquisitors, too. But who is this very bad Inquisitor you speak of, Inquisitor 751? Oh, Blue Griffin, he's speaking my language, quoting Strong Mad. Girls are confusing. As he's punching a wall.
I tell you, flash this image, and I don't think people will understand the innocence of this show. In fact, they'll interpret the opposite.
But here he is
trying to get Fluttershy to realize something very important.
and it requires quite a bit of pantomime.
Huh.
Says anything. Which I always find...
She can understand animals, animals can understand her, but Angel never really says anything. Think on that for a minute. But, as he points out, through a prop that I find very interesting.
Alrighty. Yes, Seth Moss, she does look very, very adorable all the time. Even when she's raging, there's a underlying adorableness to her. I just can't stay mad. Now, apparently, this rogue or negative Inquisitor was named Fittest Cryptman. Okay, honestly, that name, if someone comes and says, "Hello, my name's Cryptman," you should run. I don't care what environment, what setting, you should run.
So why do I find that interesting? That is the same bell tower that I believe she threw a tourist pony into in Putting Your Hoof Down. So it's nice to sort of go back to season 1, see what was there, what wasn't. And to
also just realize, wow, they really made use of this place. And also, she's a really good shot.
Oh, wow. Trinary is like, that Cryptman? I don't even know this Cryptman.
But yes, the clock is ringing. Well, the bell is ringing. The clock has struck what appears to be 4 p.m. I'm going to say 4 p.m.
Looks like a calendar.
Yeah,
there's you know, we still can't pin down a moon in the equestrian calendar. How am I supposed to work with hours? But it's at this moment that Fluttershy realizes that the time is...
There we go. Boop.
but it's
this moment that Fluttershy realizes that the time has passed.
she turns into a pumpkin.
Oh, gosh. I just realized how difficult that's going to be. Let's see what I can do here. What the? Oh, harumph! I specifically ordered... I'm mad now. Master Code, I'm afraid that's just a bug. The strange man in the corner is just a bug. Good to have you here. All right, so, Pumpkin Shy. Let's get Finder, a bird in the hoof. Images? Was it images? Ah! Oh, yeah, Ren and Stimpy. Pumpkin Shy! Boy, I'm going to have to really work on this one. Ah, Trinary. I thought I could sneak by without you spoiling me, but no luck. No luck.
The time has passed, and she turns into a pumpkin.
All right, we'll put Pumpkin Shy up here for the moment.
And she turns into a pumpkin.
Actually, I might have gotten my stories mixed. That's my bad. But no, she realizes that she's late. I said she's late.
I said she's late.
Okay, so Fluttershy, Pumpkin, now. What? No. Ah. You're being very frustrating, computer. Very frustrating indeed. There we are.
And she
Turns into a pumpkin. Actually, I might have gotten my stories mixed. That's my bad.
Okay, so Pumpkin, big. Pumpkin, smaller. There we go. And we'll just nest these together as Pumpkin Shy. Now, I need to make a little transition between the two. Shoot. Okay. Nest. See, this is where Silver-Quill starts to go a little crazy, because he's trying to be productive, but life won't work with me, man. Never works with me. It's very, very frustrating, because I'm Batman. Silver-Quill resources, video graphics, files, smoke. Poof. Alrighty. All right, we'll just start this. Oh, we'll play the whole blessed clip. Oops. Ba-dum, ba-dum. And we will set this to effect opacity screen. Now, that's screen, not scream. What it does is it eliminates the darkness. Although on this, I fear that I need a little bit of dark. Okay. Not a problem. We can work with this. I just need a key effect. Luma key. There we are. But I wonder, can I feather the Luma key at all? Doesn't look like it. Unless feather is a edge feather? Huh, maybe. Let's find out together. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with no. Let's see how this looks in the actual.
am I supposed to work with ours? But it's at this moment that Fluttershy realizes that the time has passed, and she turns into a pumpkin.
Actually,
It looped on me. Treachery. You can't accept your 15 seconds of fame.
I
Might have gotten my stories mixed. That's my bad. But no, she realizes that she's late. I said she's late.
Alrighty. Now we come to...
Big brunch for Princess Celestia at Sugar Cube Corner.
Okay, this is where I started to get all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Now we just gotta sync these up.
Princess Celestia at Sugar Cube Corner. The big brunch for Princess Celestia at Sugar Cube Corner.
There we are. Whew. Hello, IRSP 9536, or I'll just go with IRSP. Your program have feathering for Keen, the oddity of how Premiere has some things, but your 10-year-old program does have. It's true, Pokemon Fire Eevee. They call it a progress or advancement, but sometimes it's actually recessive. Mary Drake, you are the Darkness Ender. Excellent. I've always loved that Common Rider call for sign. When I shine, darkness fades.
While you can distract yourself,
Once the appointed hour for a social gathering happens, dread sets in, questioning whether or not she's dressed up right. She's checking to see if she should wear something, and
this is an
oddity, but dealing with limited resources in season 1. These are all the Grand Galloping Gala gowns. I mean, that's Pinky in the center, Twilight off to the left, and I think that's Applejack's frou-frou frilly poofy dress from the sleepover episode. Look before you sleep. Thank you. That would be very interesting. But either way, they made use of the assets at hand, but it's a blink and you'll miss it moment.
while you can
Distract yourself. Once the appointed hour for a social gathering happens, dread sets in, questioning whether or not she's dressed up right. She's checking to see if she should wear something, and this is an oddity, but dealing with limited resources in season 1. These are all the Grand Galloping Gala gowns. I mean, Twilight off to the left, I think that's Applejack's frou-frou frilly poof dress. That would be very interesting. But either way, they made use of the assets at hand, but it's a blink and you'll miss it
moment.
And she's wondering, should I go? Should I call it off? Should I do this? Should I do that? I get this way before social gatherings all the time. And I'm not saying that you should never try to overcome, but it's a struggle, and we recognize it. Get a little nervous, but then that nervous helps push you forward to try and be your best self. This is not her best self.
Ah, yes, the dreaded smudge frame.
Forward to try and be your best self.
I mean, just look at it. She's melting. Melting, I tell you. Happy New Year, Filmer Brony VA. Good to have you here. What role do I think Fluttershy would play in Alice in Wonderland? Asked Fed Pie. Let's see. She's absent-minded and very shy. So she can't be Alice. Alice is very focused and determined. She's not crazy like the Mad Hatter or the March Hare. Oh dear. Now that I think about it, there's that darker story within the story about the oyster and the clams. I fear she'd be the innocent being duped, although Alice in Wonderland clams. Yes, the walrus and it's the carpenter? Okay, I would put her as the mother oyster. That would be my suggestion. Walrus and the carpenter. Okay, Trinary. But there are oysters involved, if I remember right. Underpup, she can't be the King of Hearts. That's Domon Kashu.
This is not her best self. This is what they call a smudge frame. I think they smudged more than a little bit. Oh, I don't know what the After Dark vendor hall looks like if this is their flagship, but here's the thing. The next frame is just her standing upright. Instead of animating her in an arc,
You get this very short
burst of seeming motion, followed by her fully standing up. It's an animation trick I only recently learned about, thanks to the folks on my Fulfillment Friday streams.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, good folks.
But no, she's on
Her way to Sugar Cube Corner, which we're not.
Oh, great. Now I'm talking in tongues.
Smear shit out for them with them and score for the sniff. I wouldn't really see real actors from Shim and Anesty is the
Yeah, I sound like I'm possessed. Oh, it's a smear frame, Pokemon Fire. Wow, even when you teach me, I get it wrong. Smear frame. I'll try to get that right in the future.
But she's on her way to Sugar Cube Corner, which has seen one Celestia's chariot, which still doesn't have any seatbelts, and two guards who, at this point in the show, guards were still taken seriously. I understand not everyone. Okay, who joined this fandom before season 3? A healthy amount. I'd say at least half the room. But who joined after season 3? Ah, so you guys came in when Twilight was an alicorn. I wonder if it felt weird to go back and wonder where were her wings. See. Oh, there we go. You avoided the drama, for which well, don't worry, we supplied plenty of other drama for you. All right, everybody, please. I appreciate I caused a bonding moment. But, well, there's a certain pony. Well, there's a certain pony who's looking to cause a little mischief because if she can't be flying about, she's at least going to raise a little havoc.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit of havoc. Mm-hmm.
What do I have to do to get to be one of the princesses?
Alrighty. Boop, 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 boop. One other thing I learned in this is that I don't need 5 seconds of black in between my clips. Gotta cut that down.
So, what do I have to do to get to be one of the
Wow, I synced that up pretty well. I will take a moment to be proud of myself. And moment of affirmation over. Here we go. Let's back this up. So I need to say...
who joined
After season 3.
Nope. Yeah, I really got folks talking after that.
in an arc. You get this very
short burst of seeming motion, followed by her fully standing up. It's an animation trick I only recently learned about, thanks to the folks on my Fulfillment Friday streams.
All right, this is called
I don't know what the
After Dark vendor hall looks like if this is their flagship, but here's the thing. The next frame is just her standing upright. Instead of animating her in an arc, you get this very short burst of seeming motion, followed by her fully standing up. It's an animation.
Where did I say?
a smudge frame.
Smear frame.
What they call a smudge.
All right, let's get a little text on the screen so I can correct my boo-boo. Now I can't see it, which says to me that either it's too big or too small. Geez, I don't see a period. All right, no. Close panel. Don't know why you felt the need to do that. What's this over here for? Man, everything going crazy for me. Close panel. I just need to know font size. Oh, you just drive me nuts, don't you? Okay. I'm being good. Trying to be a team player. Trying to be nice. But don't you fight me, Adobe Premiere Pro. I hear there are plenty of other non-linear editors out there looking to take your job. Watch the whole thing. Oop, speaking of that, I'll just save right now because it's probably going to rebel on me after this. All right, let's try this again. S? Oh, there you are. Smear. Apostrophe. Asterisk. Whatevs. First off, let's get you lined up in the center. Very center. Let's up. Well, nope. First, choose the font. I need something bold. I need some. Ooh, this looks nice. And we'll make it black for easy emphasis.
Smudge frame.
In fact, let's make it. Whoop. There we go. Okay. Now I just need to change the box size. There we go. And now we take you up here.
Frame. I think they smudge
More than a little bit. Oh, I don't know what the After Dark Vendor Hall looks like if this is their flagship, but
Greetings from Ontario, says Matt Gagnon. It's cold out there, which is kind of weird because here in Colorado, it's really warm. I mean, not like tropical, but it was 63 degrees today. It shouldn't be that. We had a high, I think, in the 70s on Christmas, and that just feels wrong. It makes me actually worried that there's some sort of environmental catastrophe upcoming. So I'm a little nervous. Well, I appreciate your dedication, Matt, to coming to the stream, but never worry if you can't make it. I don't take it personally. Swordbreaker 12 wants to know, would I rather do... Well, let's do a little compare and contrast. Black on such a bright, colorful frame, I think would stand out. And, God, I've done it again. But let's try it a different way. Let's go white. Okay, with a stroke that is dark. Darkness. Oh, yeah. Have the darkness spread. With round... No. Oh, man, you can't round off the corners? Lame. Now it just looks lame. There we go. The dot. That is bolder. Now, I agree with you, Swordbreaker. That is much bolder. Thank you for the suggestion.
okay. What is with this thing that she's the element of loyalty, people?
but this is what she can do. And yes, Rainbow would take a bullet. She's that patriotic. Well, unfortunately, loyal.
The princess's royal guards, anyway.
Okay, show it.
Who thinks Rainbow would take a bullet for Celestia? Okay. What is with this thing that she's the element of loyalty, people? Well, but this is what she can do. And yes, Rainbow would take a bullet. She's that patriotic. Well, unfortunately, loyalty can...
Gotta move that down. I'm arguing with the audience. Oh dear. That's usually not a good move.
But either way. So here's... Okay, now this is another great out-of-context shot.
No, I do think Rainbow would take a bullet for Celestia. Thankfully, no one is... I don't think anyone's invented guns just yet. Although they did have guns in the Equestria games, just as a signal start.
Show of hands. Who thinks
Rainbow would take a bullet for Celestia? Okay. What is with this thing that she's the element of loyalty, people? Well, but this is what she can do. And yes, Rainbow would take a bullet. She's that patriotic. Well, unfortunately, loyalty can shift. But either way. So here's... Okay, now this is another great out-of-context shot.
now this is an
All right, another great out of context shot.
Okay, now this is another great out of
Context shot. Two things that come out to my mind. Do I want to ship it? Because, that's always there. And those guys are tall. I don't know if the scaling shifted over time, but they seem pretty dang tall and don't have platform shoes.
Come on. Zoom out for me. There you go. That'd be funny if we find out Rainbow Dash really just has a thing for guys in uniform. But no, I think she has a thing for Applejack in uniform.
Now, of course, I'll just give the audience a little look, too. This is a play on the royal guards in Britain who stand watch, and people sometimes like to try and get them to break form. I'm just going to be a fuddy-duddy and say, please don't do that. If a guard reacts in any way to an outside stimulus other than what is called for, they are instantly kicked out. So every person trying to attempt a guard is trying to end their career. But also, you may have seen videos on YouTube of people doing just that. More often than not, that is someone pretending to be a guard. Their discipline is much stronger, and YouTube can lie to you? Oh my goodness, who knew? Hi, Internet. But now it's Fluttershy's turn.
Nope, that's not Fluttershy. This is Fluttershy. Hello, Fluttershy, my old friend. I think you're cute again.
Halt! Who goes there?
No one.
Unlink. Oh wait, I'll do that in Moss as I get to the end.
audience a little look, too.
This is a play on the...
That's true, Blue Griffin. She does not have a thing for Zephyr, in or out of uniform. In a straitjacket, maybe. AGAB? Sorry, Try, I'm not familiar. She has a type. 100% she would. I love how the webcomic Friendship is Dragons. This scene is written when Rainbow's player trying to intimidate, but rolling a natural 1. Very nice. Oh, Shy could always use a hug, Swordbreaker. And I'd be willing to give it, but curse the fact that I am a contemporary real-life being and she is a work of fiction. But she will likely outlive me in the cultural zeitgeist.
Yeah, that wing snap sounded pretty
metallic. I'm starting to wonder if we got the bionic guards here. Celestia can rebuild you, make you stronger. Call on a raised hand. Well, I don't see any armor in the screenshot. In theory, yes. Oh, okay, I would guarantee a guard would look far less... Wait, let's watch that clip again.
Oh, jeez. I really done it to myself this time. All right, try to line these up.
Halt!
okay.
All right, let's just add a frame hold. And we'll cut you off.
Okay,
goes
clearly
there?
they are ventriloquists. I didn't see the mouth open so I didn't see them doing a little shing, but it may be that they're trained in ventriloquism. Celestia's secret guard knows
No bounds.
Oh, so there were 2 clips back to back. That's my bad.
Halt!
Okay,
Who goes
clearly
there?
they are ventriloquists.
I didn't see the mouth open, so I didn't see them do a little shing, but it may be that they're trained in ventriloquism. Celestia's...
Bionic Powers Pony 6. Swordbreaker, you make me feel good just for referencing the Bionic 6. I remember that cartoon and loved it dearly. Anytime I can feel not so old, it's a good day.
Their thing in season 1. But we have Twilight. And Spike is being helpful. This was a rare thing in season 1. Trustiest secret guard knows no bounds. But we have Twilight.
All right. Now then, Twilight. Well, gosh, what did happen to that clip of she's on the list? There we are.
Celestia can rebuild you, make you stronger. Call on a raised hand. Well, I don't see any armor in the screenshot.
Okay, then I'll just go with what we have.
And Spike is being helpful. This was a rare thing.
He's also doing labor that he's not getting paid for. Yep, that's true. Sweetie Bloom, actually, I'm glad you're here. Well, not actually. I'm always glad you're here. But here, I'll just cut ahead a little bit. Might as well.
When I talked about growth through transgression,
Mend whatever's wrong with Philomena. And this is where I know
Shy begins to lose some members of the audience.
And, well, yeah, Philomena looks like she's in distress. But this is where I must mention my friend.
Including one Sweetie Bloom. She is, in real life, a member, a veterinary technician, fully trained, exceptionally skilled, and doing a wonderful job. And I hope she was watching this to hear that.
I forced the issue.
But she isn't as big a fan of Fluttershy. And it's because of episodes like this. Case in point, when Fluttershy sees Philomena coughing and molting, she decides to give us a rest and check its temperature, and this is the first hint of Philomena's true identity. I think everyone's seen this, so I'm not spoiling when I say she's a phoenix.
She's what?
I know, right?
No, it's what?
Philomena is.
Or how to treat it.
And so she's...
Welcome, Elizabeth Snowbell.
But...
We're going over a
Okay,
bird in the
so,
hoof.
Done for comedic effect. It's a cartoon. But note that Fluttershy has no idea of what kind of bird Philomena is or how to treat it. And so she's trying to apply treatments not knowing, and that's very dangerous in real life. That is not how you properly care for an animal. And I will say, well, I mean, in some ways she's getting a bit of retaliation for it. Feedback, but here's the thing. You can say, oh, it's just a cartoon. But when your profession, something you've studied, is being misrepresented, I think it's very natural to feel a sense of outrage, or at least say, no, that's not how they're supposed to do it. Give context. This could be a teaching moment of how to properly care for an animal and not do this. If anything, the humor helps people realize that this isn't the right way. Now, I am not a trained veterinarian or veterinary technician. I don't know the proper deals, and I barely can handle the sight of my own blood when drawn. I'm not going to handle an animal. So, but if, say, a character in the show said, oh, it was really easy to edit that video together, I would get up and scream, lies and slander. So, we all care about the things with which we devoted our energy. And seeing it misrepresented, like saying someone is talking smack about MLP, it's natural to get frustrated or upset. So I'm putting that out there. And this is part of experience. But I want to put that this doesn't bother as much because I'm trying to view it as a symbol. And there's a very big difference between symbols and signs. You see a stop sign. What do you do? Okay, one person said, break the law. I need your driver's license right now. But that's a sign. In fact, a person in the audience is holding up an interstate sign, 565, which has a heck of a lot of signatures. Wow. So a sign is very much secured in the moment, in the expression. There's no alternate interpretation.
Okay, I need to stop there because otherwise I'm just making you watch my presentation without anything besides the black void behind me. So dark. But I wanted to make sure Sweetie Bloom saw that I totally understand why you're not a Fluttershy fan when she misrepresents animal care this way. That is no conflict between us, and I think I very much welcome your insight. Here we go. Let's see.
Wow, Twilight. I thought I was the only one who got nervous at social gatherings.
Oh my god, Twilight. Okay.
I believe this is the only time she visited that place. Mr. Incredible, Elastic Man, Elongated Man,
Rubber Man. Onwards we go. And some stretchy arms.
and here's Princess Celestia in
Cute corner. I believe this is the only time she visited that place in the show. I haven't read all the books, but Mr. and Mrs. Cake are doing their absolute best. And Twilight is freaking the frig
out.
Freaking, not just freaking out, freaking the frig out. All the frigginess. A freaky deaky.
And Twilight is freaking the frig out, as is her way.
Wow, Twilight, I thought I was the only one who got nervous at social gatherings.
Oh, it's not that. I just want the princess to approve of my friends.
It's always related to Princess Celestia. You're trying to bring in the One Piece. Spike got a hold of the gum fruit. But now does that mean he's going to become the god of liberation? That'd be something. Spike becomes a god figure in Equestria. Already got a good start with the crystal ponies. Now, what clip was that? Was 10, so I need 11 now.
Careful! Careful! You're gonna spill that on me! Ooh, that looks delicious! What is it? Oh, it's a stain! Keep it away from me!
Here we go.
So, but the thing of it is,
Huh? Oh, well, I guess that's... No, this won't work. I need that. Because it's hard to sync up without the audio headline. There we are.
Careful! You're gonna spill that on me! Ooh, that looks...
There we go. She reads lips. According to the Meltdown, phoenix feathers cause deafness. Hello, Kamodra. Well, you missed me giving a positive shout out to my friend Sweetie Bloom, who's here with us in the chat, for which I am grateful. And, well, we had me lecture on, but now we continue forward.
which is going to be kind of hard, especially when you're dealing with certain characters. Now, let's start with rarity. I'm going to posit an idea for you all, and forgive me as I pull out and reactivate my phone because I have some notes on this. My bud Trinary hooked me up with a Jungian book on rebirth, of which a phoenix, spoilers, is very much associated with the concept of life, death, rebirth. In fact, very often Jung noted that Christians even could find a parallel in that, being born into a new body. So, but the thing of it is, there was this particular piece. Well, I can't quite bring it up. But here, there was a story once of a pilgrim who wanted to find the phoenix and went to 4 countries to do so. Let's see here. There was England, Asia, America, and finally Africa. And he noted that each one had a sort of parallel: earth, fire, wind, and water. There was no heart. That's a stupid power.
That's right. Sorry, Captain Planet. At least it's not the robot chicken Captain Planet. Be good to the earth or I'll kill you.
But the Jungian analysts, people who try to find the meaning in stories beyond the surface level, noted that this is also a great representation of intelligence, emotion, sensation, and instinct. So sensation being just body, tactile information. And so there's an idea that these 4 qualities are in every person, but they're held in a certain hierarchy that actually does take the shape of the cross. This is not religious, this is psychological. What I mean is, there is one dominating ideal, something for which the character taps into very powerfully, 2 more that are supportive, but then there's the inferior property, not inferior because it is less than the others, but because it's underdeveloped within that person's persona. And for fun, we're going to try to apply this to our beloved characters.
Careful, you better spill that.
Now, why on earth is... Gonna have to unlink this one. Why did this start where it started?
On me. Ooh.
So the fair maid rarity. I would say that at the top of her quaternary, as I call them, she is very much instinctive. Her creativity takes control. Her emotions support that. Her sensitivity, or I forget the exact term used. Sensual, essentially. Physical contact. All of those are up there at the top to support her creative endeavors. But she's not able to rein in those emotions using her thoughts. I'm not calling her stupid. I'm saying that right now her emotions often take the driver's seat. She is certainly intelligent in that she can run a business, but she can't maintain that intelligence under stress often, and then her emotions take control. And we end up with things like wearing her emotions in the 200th episode. Was it? No, wait, no, that was far more positive. Fate and Misfortune. There's the episode. And then we have Applejack.
Alrighty. So now I need Applejack. Talk to me, Miss Applejack. Uh-oh, Sherry, what's happened? Something bad. You was introduced. Oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry, Cherry. Your car broke down in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, right. Continence would have been better, Sweetie Bloom. It started on the Robot Chicken skit where the Planeteers went full on extreme. Uh-oh. Yes, I said countries when I should have said continents. That's my bad.
And then we have Applejack.
Which is the salad and which is the appetizer again?
Right? Right. Hello?
Which is salad, which is the appetizer again? Who first? Oh,
Not hungry.
Then we have Applejack.
Which is the salad and which is the appetizer again? And which am I supposed to eat first? Oh, never mind. I'm not hungry.
Oh, come on. I gotta get this.
The appetizer again? And which am I supposed to eat first?
Okay, there we go. I'll have to... Huh. You know, now that I look at it, that sandwich does look like it has some sort of bologna on it. All right. Well, let's do... I can still do a little bit of damage control.
But the Jungian analysts, people who try to find the meaning in
Death.
rebirth. In fact, very often, Jung noted that Christians even adopt. The thing of it is, there was a particular piece. I can't quite bring it up. Here, there was a pilgrim who wanted to find the phoenix and went to 4 countries to do so. Let's see here. There was
Who wanted to find the phoenix and went to a 4 so.
Alrighty. Continents. Continents. Did I spell that right? Oh, that'd be all I need. Spelling problems on top of word snafus. And maybe we'll bring down the stroke a little too since it's a little smaller. There we go. Continents. I think that's right.
Do so. Let's see here. There was England.
Asia, America, and finally Africa. And he noted that each one had a sort of parallel: earth, fire, wind, and water. There was no heart. That's a stupid power.
But
Alrighty, here we go.
Now, Applejack's in a opposite sense. I think her intelligence is actually pretty high up there.
She's often the even keel, the one talking ponies through. In Feeling Pinky Keen, she was the one who led the charge to check in on Fluttershy and recognized that she would have to push any concerns to the back until they actually got there. So we've got intelligence up there. I think she's definitely got her senses, physical responses in check, and yeah, I think also her no, not her emotions. See, this is what happens when I don't have a slide right in front of me. Let's see here. Intelligence, sensual, instincts. There we go. Her instincts are very sharp, but her emotions get pushed down.
Very often.
Well, Applejack cries on the inside. She doesn't allow herself an expression of those emotions, which often leads to her stubborn side. If she's fearful of something, or if she's feeling guilty or uncertain, her intelligence tries to fill in with bravado. And so, therefore, a different arrangement. Now, Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie Pie. Whoops. There we go. You'll be right back, Celestia Fan Forever? Oh no, Sweetie Bloom has started her incremental tipping. We've reached the tipping point. Okay, there's Pinkie's stuff. Here we go. Boop.
I don't even know where to begin with Pinkie, but I'm going to say that emotions, instincts, and sensation are all at the top.
They got that powerful triangle boosting up her instincts because she believes so strongly in her Pinkie sense, which is she's not able to describe as
Intelligence or the reasoning. She just accepts that it is. By that same notion, she sees something in front of her, she acts on it. So there's a lot of instinct and contact with the world.
And saying that intelligence
Is towards the bottom. I'm not calling her stupid. Pinkie is actually a very smart pony, but she doesn't let intelligence or the brain take the driver's seat very often.
All right, these other ones will have to go afterwards. Right, there you go.
Empty teacup at 4 o'clock!
I see it, honey bun.
Oh, thank you.
Probably going to get some claim of, hey, you played My Little Pony clips. You owe us money.
Teacup at 4 o'clock!
1,000 parts.
Mm-hmm. This is odd. I'm seeing...
Empty teacup at...
That's odd. Very odd. Let's see here. That's Celestia doing her little joke. There we are. Got on the wrong clip, it seems.
A 1,000 pardons, Your Majesty.
That's quite all right, thank you.
There we go. Got ahead of myself, I guess. Misty Dolph with that freeze frame face. Oh dear. All manner of freeze frame faces.
And, well, I got
Say, if there's a way to take down Pinkie Pie, the cakes have found it. I don't know where they whisked her off to at that moment, but that's pretty impressive.
all at the top. They got that powerful triangle boosting up her instincts because she believes so strongly in
Pinkie sense, which is she's not able to describe as intelligence or the reasoning. She just accepts that it is. By that same notion, she sees something in front of her, she acts on it.
Huh? Oh, okay, yeah. I know what that's all about.
That same notion,
She sees something in front of her, she acts on it.
Hello, Gaiety. Happy New Year to you. Glad to have you here.
I don't
Where they whisked her off to at that moment, but that's pretty impressive. Now, right now, at the time of this video, we didn't think so, but I'm pretty sure there's a closet where she's waiting until then. Pinky, you're in the timeout room.
Oh, boy.
Well, that'd be something. Oh, no, I don't want to imply that Pinky reacts to jingling keys. Oh, dear. But Twilight's concerns are also... Let's talk about Twilight for a sec.
Intelligence is clearly at the top.
You know what? I'll leave that out for now. Well, apparently I talked about Twilight too much. There was no... Well, maybe I will throw in the cakes.
And, well, I gotta...
Oh, I better throw in the cakes, because that's a... Yeah. There we go. Nope. No. Which one is this? Spurt. An error report has been generated. And, yep, called it. Premiere didn't like me. Didn't think very highly of me, so it closed the whole shebang on me. Premiere, how could you? I feel so betrayed. Pokemon Fire Eevee says that Pinky in Season 1 was the worst. Well, she was certainly the most bombastic. I will say others... Like, Fluttershy's not at her best in this episode. This is probably her at her most naive. And, all right. While the project was open, reopen the project. Let's see if we can save what we can save. What did we save?
A thousand pardons, Your Majesty.
Okay, so not too bad. But let's save this as Bird in the Hoof. We'll replace the old. And we're back in business. I did listen 20 minutes ago, Trinary. But that's also why I set up autosave to do it every 5 minutes. Fluttershy was at her most naive and daring doubt. I think she was at her most innocent, but was it naivete? I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch that episode again. Okay, presentation slides. This was 44. I need 43. Because I could do math. That's not it.
And, well, I gotta say, if there's a way to take down Pinkie Pie, the cakes have found it.
Whoops. Down you go.
I don't know where they whisked her off to at that moment, but that's pretty impressive. Now,
right now, at the time of this video, we didn't think so, but I'm pretty sure there's a closet. Instinct is lesser, and senses physical touch one. And I believe that her emotions and senses of the world...
Oh, where's Twilight?
Oh, well, that'd be
something.
Oh, no, I don't want to imply that Pinky reacts to jangling keys. Oh, dear. But Twilight's concerns are also... Let's talk about Twilight for a sec. But Twilight's concerns are also... Let's talk about Twilight for a sec. Intelligence is clearly at the top of her hierarchies.
Fluttershy will always be your favorite pony, while Luna your favorite princess, Misty Dolphin. And excellent. Oh, yeah, Swordbreaker, I heard about that you can't even buy RAM for computers at an affordable price now because AI is eating up all these resources. But I will caution that there's a great expectation that the AI bubble will burst. No, AI is not driving me to drink. I just needed a little bit of water.
Especially in season 1.
I found this marvelous drink, Liquid Death Killer Cola. It's good for stepping off of soda. It tastes sort of like a generic cola, not fully impersonating Pepsi or Diet Coke, but enough. It's only 2 grams of fat. It's sparkling water, and it's pretty darn good. So there's my endorsement, but I get no money for it. Oh, Ender Pup, I wish I could predict when the AI bubble would burst. Then I could manipulate the stock market totally legally. Totally. But no, I have no inside information. I only know that it all seems affordable right now, but all the AI companies have to do is tweak the price, and then you see the real cost. I think they'd lose more people. Because as far as I know, AI is not making any people, it's not making a profit right now. Hey, Chrissy. Give Silver money, Cola. Oh, that'd be something. Although, yeah, it's funny. I was rewatching how it feels to play Pyro. And as a part of that, this is not the same audio. What the hey? There we go.
Thank you.
And I really enjoy the cakes in this.
Well, I got this set up. I might as well.
Speaking of
I care deeply about all creatures.
Where's the other audio? There you go. So, watching the Pyro, and Purple Lazy was giving an endorsement to Honey, which apparently really fell apart, blew up. I don't know all that really happened, but boy, people made it sound bad. So it's the thing about YouTube endorsements. I'm not sure I would want to recommend something that could hurt people in the long run.
Gotcha.
All right, so empty teacup.
Empty teacup at 4.
This is the life of editing. You see here the same clip 50 or 60 times.
4 o'clock.
I see it, honey bun.
There we go. Pretty good lineup. Oh, but I have ways to go and only half an hour left. Oh well. Would I like to reboot my Pinkie Pie? Oh boy. Yeah, Sweetie Bloom, they do design it to look like beer can. It has a screaming, melting skull on it, but that's why it's supposed to fake people out at, like I say, fake people out at parties. You look like you're having a beer, and that's fine. But I'm just going to cheat a little. If we're going to talk about Twilight, might as well have her on the screen.
Intelligence is clearly at the top of her hierarchy, especially in season 1. And I believe that her emotions and senses of the world help reinforce that. Gather data, have suspicions, inquisitiveness, but... Oh, sorry, that's instinct and... No, I'm getting my brain all sorted. Instinct is lesser, And senses, physical touch with the world, those are even. Emotions, she has a hard time opening up to ponies at the start. Over the course of the series, she learned to be more expressive. But even at the end, she had a hard time even telling her friends, I'm moving and I'm upset that no one's reacting to this in the last problem. So I appreciate that she learned to express her emotions, but again, it's always a challenge. We'll always have a bit of struggle with the underdeveloped parts of ourselves, with things that reside more in the unconscious. We can bring them up to the conscious light of day, but it's always going to be a struggle. And it's not weakness or failure to have that struggle. It's actually very much a part of being human.
I see it, honey bun.
Thank you.
Ah, I got the dreaded flash frame.
And I really enjoy the cakes in this. Okay.
See you, Pinky. Yep, there's a little motion blur to imply things.
And I really enjoy the cakes in this. Okay, see you, Pinky. Yep.
Ah, man, I was all over the place with this.
And I really
Enjoy the cakes in this. Okay, see you, Pinky. Yep, there's a little motion blur to imply things.
Oh, yes, this was the scene that really inspired the idea that Celestia is a huge troll.
Okay, let's take this and go over here and put it there.
Really inspired
The idea that Celestia is a huge troll. And okay, looking now, a little bit of that tea got on the tablecloth. Hey, it was going to get washed no matter what. And good Lord, I'm amazed it's as clean as it is with Pinky in the audience. But here's the thing. That really was not a troll move, in my opinion. Trolls are seeking to get an...
Well, the Blue Griffin, let me play this for you, and I think we might be of a similar mind.
But here's the thing. That really was not a troll move, in my opinion. Trolls are seeking to get an angry outburst from you. They're trying to evoke a negative emotion. I would be celebrating if trolls hurt with kindness or killed them with kindness, but that sounds like a contradiction to me. Celestia is actually doing another a prospect of psychological development that I found very interesting reading about the book Dranair gave me. Thank you for that. There's a phrase: mental growth and personal development begin through a transgression. Something goes wrong and you learn from it. Or in this case, Celestia makes a small transgression and gets them to lighten up a little or have a laugh at themselves. Mrs. Cake seems to be getting the spirit a bit more than Mr. Cake. But the idea is, hey, no worries. And, it's also in Philly Vanilli, you lived your worst nightmare. Was it really that bad? Again, transgression is a gateway to growth. Speaking of
I care deeply about all creatures, great and...
Okay. All right, you care deeply. Nope, wrong one.
I care deeply about all creatures, great and small. Deeply about all creatures, great and small.
Lord have mercy. Alrighty. So we'll need just these two.
If you want to talk about trolls, we're about to meet one. I'm saying whoa. Also, I appreciate Applejack there. No, I'm not calling her a background pony, but she is there in the farther part of about to make an the farther part of the setting.
Ah, Philomena.
Let's just leave it at that. I'm getting a little tired, running a little low on the steam. Not running low on the stream, mind you.
Ah, Philomena, my pet. You're awake. Do say hello to our gracious hosts.
Now we got to sync it all up. Oh, yes, and let me just...
Philomena, my
Oh, got a little bit of an echo, so I'm still off by 1 or 2.
pet. You're awake. Do say hello to our gracious hosts.
I took the liberty of adding interpretations. So yes, this is Philomena, and boy howdy is this bird about to make an impact.
Applejack is, well, my second favorite. For Sweetie Bloom, Applejack is best pony. So there you go. Celestia Fan Forever wonders, why did Celestia bring Philomena? Well, I would say that on a molting day, it's probably something that you want to keep an eye out for. And so I imagine that Celestia meant to keep an eye on her with probably the guard's help, but Fluttershy was a step ahead. Oh, Misty Dolphin, you're not wrong, but at the same time, I always get frustrated going with the meta explanation. But yes, we'll never quite know the full reason why Celestia brought Philomena. I'd be curious if Twilight apparently didn't see Philomena very often, else she would have known. I think that syncs up pretty well. Hard to tell because it's all musical.
I took the liberty of adding interpretations. So yes, this is Philomena, and
All right. Spit take. Before you leave, says Cherry Fluff Belly, thought of something for the chat. Any weird food cravings that leave people questioning you? I once was hungry for a pickle, and my brother asked if I was pregnant. But I just really like pickles.
I took the liberty of adding interpretations. So yes, this is Philomena, and boy howdy is this bird about to make an impact. And Fluttershy is just like... And Fluttershy is just like, my hoofness. I'm going to give it to G5 for that one. Oh, but just what happened? But speaking of weird frames, this scrunchy face with just a little bit of T-spew.
but speaking of weird frames, this scrunchy face with just a little bit of tea spew
Well,
is coming to
rather than going out. Well, that just makes me think of Red Dwarf. They had a drink that you could will into your mouth, which I'm afraid the guys were not very good at. They wind up just spraying themselves. But Celestia has to dip out because the mayor has official business with which she needs to speak.
Nope, but I'll take that. Ah! Did I take the whole blessed... Yeah, I did. What? Okay, now I'm just confused. I just want this frame. Thank you.
I find it interesting that over time,
She's seen this image of perfection. As she became closer to Twilight and Friends, we, the audience, got to see a side of her that isn't revealed to the public. She may have seemed less godly, as someone put it, certainly maybe less regal behind closed doors, but far more of a real individual. Or, as you would call it, a person who has gone through the individuation process. Yes.
Honestly, if we're talking about
having things willed towards you, I think the hat just comes to her. It's like Thor's hammer.
Here we are. Hat, though? I have to remember. I really need to get a mic for the audience.
But far more of a real individual. Or, as you would call it, a person who has gone through the individuation process. Yes. Honestly, if we're talking
about having things willed towards you, I think the hat just comes to her. It's like Thor's hammer.
The hat. What? Whose hat? Oh, they're probably asking about Applejack. The hat just comes to her. Okay, let's just grab a bunch. And we'll continue onward. Ever onward.
Stay right where you are. All I want is a clear path to the exit. Nobody move, and my dress won't get hurt. Stand back! Back, I say!
Now to... Oh, does that sync up pretty well?
And my dress won't get hurt. Stay back! Back, I say!
There we go. Okay. Don't know why that got duplicated, but...
So we get a resolution of 3 out of 4 sub-conflicts in this. Although I think there's a fresh conflict brewing with Pinky. So she's looking at a case of assault and battery right here.
But at least it's no big disaster.
Here you go. Come on.
But at least no big disasters happened.
Ah, yes. Twilight. You should have known better.
But at least no big disasters happened. But at least no big disasters happened.
By the way, is there a water station nearby? I'm suddenly...
This is where Trinary saved me. In fairness, I made it about half an hour in.
Water station nearby? I'm suddenly...
Oh, I'm blind. Thank you, Tony. She was knowing Pinky, she probably had another party planned, and well, maybe it was a bit of a circus, literally. So she's cartwheeling to the next appointment. Yes.
Gonna have a lot more Miss Othmore trumpets for the audience.
Propensity to destroy things.
Oh, and I appreciate. Thank you for that. Oh, I need it. There's mark this. So when I talk about growth through transgression, it's kind of like that Mortal Kombat line: prepare to become a lot stronger.
Nope. Over here.
Because Fluttershy has decided that she's going to mend whatever's wrong with Philomena. And this is where I know Fluttershy begins to lose some members of the audience.
Alrighty.
Don't you worry, Philomena. I nurse you back to health. Has a favor to the princess who's obviously just far too busy to care for you properly.
All right. With this, and once I get this synced up, I think we can safely say we've been at this for a good while. It's time to talk about 2026.
Properly.
Mm-hmm.
Care for you properly. Care for you properly.
I guess that's as close as I'm going to get it. So, where are you, Word? Come on. There you are. Keep looking for a bigger W. Which con was this, Sweetie Bloom? This was at Cider Fest. Why would Celestia leave Philomena behind, Misty Dolphin wonders? And that is a very good question. I will put out 3 propositions. 1, she really is so busy that she legitimately neglected Philomena. 2, she's counting on her guards to pick up and take care of her pet for her. 3, maybe she is baiting a reaction as a means to help teach a lesson. In other words, set up a transgression in order to foster growth. But that takes a lot of variables into account. So really, I think depending on your opinion of Celestia and her role throughout the series, the Sweetie Bloom, then then you'll find your own conclusion. I can offer only 3 possibilities at the moment. True, you're doing CAD and 3D printing classes next week. Hey, Highlander Pup, congratulations. I hope it's fun. I still need to make that donut. In fact, that brings us to why I pulled up Microsoft Word. Around this time last year, I tried making schedules, deadlines for this, that, and the other thing. You know, have a Spike episode ready for Spike Day. Have a Valentine style review for Valentine's Day. Onwards and onwards. And I completely failed. I mean, life got hard. There were a lot of things going on behind the scenes that really, really killed my creativity and ate up a lot of time. So, I'm not going to make a schedule for this week. Rather, let's just talk about what I'd like to do. I'll keep the font small because it's not a big to-do. Sweetie Bloom, you did try to help, and I appreciate it. Unfortunately, these were things that you couldn't help with. And besides, you were already helping so many people. All right, so first things first. What do I want to do? Finish the Spike Golden Child. I guess this is the Spike Spyro. Golden Child review. Review Trinary's Royalty and Rainboom's story. Retrospective on the symbolism of rainbows. Why are there so many songs about a rainbow? The symbolism of swords. Oh, no, Sweetie Bloom. Never say you didn't help enough. That is, 1, untrue. 2, you can't quantify help. You can't quantify its meaning, its impact. So the fact that you helped, in and of itself, is to your credit. We're not quite at the top of the hour, Enderpup. Although, yes, I should save this just in case the wrath of Premiere follows me. All right, next up. I guess I'm making subcategories. So these are video ideas. Videos. Merchandise. Equestria Girls, and Autobot, Decepticon, standees. What I mean by this is I would really like to design some figure standees where an Equestria Girl is paired with a character from Transformers. Twilight and Optimus is an obvious one. I think Fluttershy and Soundwave would get along fabulously. Had to debate Rainbow Dash because Starscream is not a good match for Rainbow. Rather, well, Cozy Glow might be a good Starscream duo. No, I think, either Power Glide or Fireflight might be more akin to Rainbow. Oh, City Bloom, really, the negative karma you're putting out there is thinking that you're not doing enough. That's negative karma. Don't you negative karma yourself. Jimmy, I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for watching my videos all that time ago. But here I am. I'm still kicking. MPC, you read my mind. I was going to put Rodimus Prime and Sunset Shimmer together. Oh, Fireflight is one of the aerial bots. Honestly, wait, is there... I don't know. All the Autobots are pretty loyal. That's the problem. But Power Glide he's boastful, but he gets the job done, too. We'll have to brainstorm more on who might match up with Rainbow. Maybe Springer, when I think about it. Anyway. So, Equestria Girls, MLP Rubik's Cube. Inspired by Sweetie Bloom's Christmas gift for me, a sound joke button. If I could splice some MLP main 6 jokes, push buttons. So not AI. Don't want to do AI. What else was there? Was there anything else that I really, really, really wanted to get out there? Oh, yes. 3D Cutie Mark globes. I saw this at the Denver Fan Expo. Someone was able to laser a 3D image of a Pokemon inside this glass ball with a standee. Mary Drake is saying Cliff Jumper and Rainbow Dash. They're both eager for a fight. I don't know I think Rainbow Dash is AIM. AIM is better. Oh, sweetie, I have found it since then. Rainbow and Smokescreen. That was a little harder for me to really catch, Brig 7, but I like your input and appreciate it. And, well, let's see. 3D Cutie Mark gloves. I think that's good for the moment. And then there's art. So I need to do a little bit of drawing, designs, stuff. Let's see here. Pinkie Pie says good night. Continue the story. Good night. Imani. God, I love that comic. Floating in not completion. And what else? What else did I want to draw? Oh, yes. A Doberman Diamond Dog antagonist that I have in mind. Ooh, Shattered Mirror antagonist. And what else? Update the Majesty design. All right. So there we have 4, 8, 14 ideas. Creative things to accomplish in this new year. Feel like, oh, I'm also forgetting. She's All Yak review. Preferably before Valentine's, but I make no promises. There we go. To-do list. These are things I would like to accomplish, and if I don't have time for one, I can work on another. But just committing that to something to look at, to reference. The most aggressive breed is a Chihuahua. It's true, Sweetie Bloom, but somehow I just don't feel like that would be an intimidating diamond dog. Alrighty, Flutters and Skyfire. For me, Blue Griffin, Flutter and Soundwave are two peas in the pod. Granted, he may not share a great love for the organics, but they do both care for their respective charges. Because, you know, there are Decepticons who are more reliable or more efficient than Soundwave. But the thing is, those Decepticons live in his chest. Well, this isn't necessarily a top of the list for to do. It's just, you can do it. You can do it. But yes, I really, to finish She's All Yak, I have to finish watching My Fair Lady and then watch She's All That. Because all of this traces back to the Pygmalion story and the idea of individuation. Alrighty. Mostly the MLP comments were a stretch for the connections. You're not wrong, Trinary, but I still like these connections. Oh, that'd be something, Enderpup. I know what you're referencing. There is a time in the Boom Studio comics for Transformers, Soundwave beats the ever-loving scrap out of Starscream because Starscream dared to kick his Ravage. All right, but with that, everyone, I'm part of the way through with this here shindig, and I shall continue. But first, some din-din. And one of my friends got me both Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei for Christmas, so I want to do a little bit of gaming. Yes, I agree, Swordbreaker. The IDD comics are very good. Here's hoping that the new MLP comics will be equally celebratory. And well, I think that's got just about enough. Skybound comics. I'm sorry, Enderpup. It was Skybound. See, unless I write this stuff down, I actually get pretty scatterbrained. But that's just how I work. Alrighty. But with this all, well, in a good state with more to come, I thank y'all for sitting with me and talking about the new year. I hope it's been a good New Year celebration for y'all. And, well, Cosminus, I'm pretty tuckered myself. I mean, this has been an odd week in terms of sleep schedule and workload and social. So, in some ways, a return to some normalcy is very welcome. But with that, I will wish you all a wonderful evening and weekend, and with wishes for good things in 2026. If not good things, then boring, because we've had enough excitement, I'd say. Here's to a positive or at least boring new year, and I wish you guys all the best. I'm Silver-Quill,